All right, today we're jumping into a really dense and honestly fascinating parable. It's a story that peels back every single layer of the self to ask a pretty terrifying question. What's actually left of you when there's nothing left at all? And right off the bat, we get this chilling line from one of our main characters, the Jester. Man, does that set the stage. This is a journey that goes way beyond just a walk in the woods. We're diving deep into the nature of consciousness itself.
So our story follows these two figures, the Grungol Nar, who we'll just call the Jester, and the Horned Guardian. They're walking deeper and deeper into this primeval forest. But listen, this is no ordinary stroll. It's really a philosophical journey, a kind of Fichtean descent to figure out what kind of self is actually strong enough to lead when the entire world is falling apart.
And you can just feel the incredible contrast in their energy, right? On one hand, you've got the Jester practically skipping, his bells sounding like a frantic heartbeat. And on the other, you have the Guardian, this massive, ancient thing whose footsteps are like a slow, deliberate drum. They're total opposites, but they're both heading to the exact same place.
Okay, so as they go deeper into this forest, something really strange starts to happen. The world around them, physical reality, it starts to just come undone. It's literally withering away before their eyes. And the Jester, who's always watching, always analyzing, he's the one who puts a name to it. He sees that the not I is vanishing. Now this right here is the central idea we absolutely have to grasp to understand the test that's coming for them. So, what the heck is the not I? Well, it's pretty simple actually. It's everything that is not you. The trees, the ground, other people, all of society. That's the not I. It's the external world that our own consciousness, our I, pushes against to figure out its own shape. It's like the wall you have to bump into to know where you end and something else begins. And for our travelers, that wall is just dissolving into thin air.
So where is this whole journey taking them? They're heading to a place called the Erdar Munur, or the Maw of the Earth. This is it. This is their final destination, and it's going to be the site of one heck of a confrontation.
The entrance, it's nothing fancy. It's almost primal, Just a raw crack in the earth. But what it represents, that's something much, much deeper.
You can almost feel the atmosphere here. This is not just some cave. It feels like a place outside of time, smelling of ancient stone, like creation and decay all at once. This is a place of negation, a place where things don't start, they end.
And then the Horned Guardian just lays it out, plain and simple. He reveals the whole purpose of this place. The cave is a void, a total vacuum, and it's designed for one reason, to force the I, your sense of self, to face the possibility that without an external world to push against, it might not even exist.
This whole setup builds to this incredible test of what it means to be truly sovereign, to be a self-ruling, self-contained being.
And right here, the Jester asks the central question of this whole parable. I mean, think about it. So much of our identity is defined by what we're not, by the things we push against. So what happens when all that disappears? Are you still you? How would you even know? So the Guardian lays out these two competing ideas of power. First, you've got the Vikings' view. Power is about domination, it's about conquering the external world, literally owning the mountain. Then you have the Jester's view, which is all about subversion, defining yourself by challenging that world, by mocking the mountain. And this is the absolute genius of the test. The cave removes the entire playing field. Suddenly, there is no mountain to own, and there's no mountain to mock. The not I has been completely erased, leaving only the I, all alone in a perfect vacuum. Which brings us to the Guardian's final challenge for the Jester. It's a test to see if his consciousness is really self-sustaining, to see if he can prove that he's what some philosophers call the absolute ich.
The absolute ish, or the absolute I, what is that? Well, think of it this way. Are you a star, or are you the moon? A star creates its own light. A moon can only reflect light from something else. The absolute ish is a star. It's a self that generates its own reality, its own light. It doesn't need an external world to know it exists. It is its own sun and its own earth. And that is what the Jester now has to become. And there it is, the ultimatum. Laughter, by its very nature, needs an echo, right? It needs an audience, and not I, to hear it. The Guardian's challenge is just devastatingly simple. Can your joy, your very being, exist in a total void? If it can, then you're a true sovereign. And the Jester's response? He accepts. He basically declares that his own internal duality, his gold and his green, that's all the world he needs. He's claiming to be his own self-sustaining universe.
And with that, he steps into the darkness.
Now, as they descend, the whole game changes. The physical journey is over. What begins now is a silent, internal battle, a battle for the soul itself. And the transformation is total. The external world, gone. Their roles as beast and fool, they dissolve. They become nothing more than 2 points of pure consciousness, 2 wills pitted against each other in the dark matter of the soul.
And let's not forget the stakes here, because they could not be higher. This is way more than just a philosophical thought experiment. The outcome of this silent battle is going to decide who has the true strength, the true sovereignty to lead the herd, that's the rest of us, through the chaos that's coming.
Which leaves us with a big, hanging question. In a battle of pure will, when there is nothing left to own and nothing left to mock, which kind of consciousness wins out? Is it the ancient, stable, immovable presence of the guardian? Or is it the frantic, self-creating internal fire of the jester?